You are in love. Her presence is precious and exciting. You miss each other all the time, and you cannot wait to see her again. When you see her again, you spend all the little time that you have trying new and exciting things, giggling and laughing like little children. Your heart aches as you say goodbye for another week until you see her again. A year passes, you start to get comfortable, and you want to spend 24/7 together, so you decide to move in and maybe build a family. You now live together, but you never make love. You see each other every day of the week, but you still miss each other. You miss the person that you once were in love with, because that person is now not the same. You lose your good habits, and so does she. Her attraction fades to you, and so does yours to her. I will teach you in this video how to prevent these things, how not to fall into this trap, and how to keep the person that you once loved. So this is you, happy, and this is your girl, happy. You're both trying new things. You're going to new restaurants, new cafes, traveling to different places, enjoying life, excited to see each other every single weekend. Now, a year passed and you decide to move in because you want to spend more time together. You decide to put a ring on her finger because you love her and you want to marry her. But you weren't ready because you didn't watch this video. You are now unhappy like this guy, sitting down, regretting his choices. He's thinking, well, I didn't think it would be this way. I thought it would be so much better. I thought me spending time with her 24/7 would make things better for me and her. I thought the love would grow and flourish, but only the opposite happened. And she's looking at him, saying, whoa, well this guy, he just stopped doing all the good habits. He started becoming a gamer. He bought himself some anime posters and now he's playing video games like 5 hours a day and he's making me unhappy. I can see him every single day and he's not exciting me. He's see-through. I can see everything about him and I know everything about him, so he's not exciting to me anymore. So love becomes absent. Why do these things happen? And that's a good question. I will answer why these things happen. Let's see how it was at the start. First of all, at the start you were trying to impress. You were showing your best personality traits. You were trying to impress the girl. You were trying to show everything that you have. You were present. You were showing her your emotions. You were showing her the lack of your emotions. You were a man. She fell in love with you for the person who you were. You were doing all the good habits. You were reading, working out, going to the gym like 5 days a week. You were making music. You were like playing guitar and you were just an exciting persona. You were learning new things every day and you were telling her new stories every day. She was worried about you because she didn't see you like for 5 days, maybe even more at some times. And she was wondering what you were doing. So your hobbies and pursuit of your success made you attractive. You were in pursuit of success. You were in pursuit of a better life. You had goals and you had ambitions, and that made you very attractive. Creativity and exploring were peaked. So you and her were exploring new places. You were going to new little brunch cafes and you were going to all these little nice exciting places, and she didn't know what to expect of you because you brought her to these new places every single time, and she just fell in love with you every single day more and more. You both put in the work. She put on the makeup and she tried her best. She painted her nails. She made sure she looked best. And so did you. You put on your nicest shirt. You made sure your teeth were clean and weren't like, some bits of food stuck in your teeth. You made sure to put on some cologne. She made sure to put on her best perfume. And both of you put in the effort. Seeing each other every other weekend, and you missed each other. Figuring each other out was exciting and new. So you both didn't know each other. You just figured each other out, and you didn't know that person 100%, and you didn't know what to expect from that person. You were worried. You were excited. All of these emotions were peaked. Even more so for her, because women are a lot more emotional than men are. So her emotions were going through the roof. She didn't know what to think. Maybe you were cheating. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you were fighting off some gangsters. Who knows? She was excited. and you didn't tell her much about yourself. You didn't reveal every single secret like a little nerd. Oh, I woke up at 9 a.m. and I brushed my teeth, and then I made myself some breakfast, and then I went to work, and then I loaded a pallet, and then this pallet had 28 boxes, and then I put this pallet on a truck, and no. And then I went to the gym, and in the gym I was talking to this guy, and this guy told me this story about this cat that he had. No. You told her something, but not enough. Not enough for her to keep figuring you out. She always wanted to know more and more, but you didn't give everything to her. You kept her excited and kept her imagination running wild. This is what you need to do. You seen past the imperfections as you were both blinded by love. So, you were blinded by love because everything was so new and exciting. And trust me, you can still keep these things new and exciting. Absence and mysteriousness. The time you spent together was precious as there was little of it. Your absence was painful to the other person. You were missed and appreciated because you weren't always there, so when you were there, you were appreciated and not taken for granted. You were doing your own thing, and you remained mysterious. She didn't know exactly what you were doing, and you didn't tell her exactly what you're doing. So she had stuff to figure out, and she was always in her imaginary state. She was always thinking, oh, I wonder if he's fighting off some gangsters. I wonder if he's in trouble. I wonder if he's doing this, or I wonder if he's doing that. That is very good for a woman to keep thinking about a man, because when she knows everything about you, that doesn't excite her anymore. Any emotion is better than no emotion. You need to evoke good emotions, or any emotions in that woman. Your partner was always wanted more but didn't get it. Example of art. So when there is an abundance of an art piece, no one wants it because art collectors want to have this one particular art piece that no one else has. Doesn't matter how much valued it is. Doesn't matter if it costs 250,000 or a million or 20 million. If they have the money, they want to have that one art piece for themselves. They don't want anyone else to have it. When there's an abundance of art, when there's a big abundance of art, and everyone has that art piece, and it becomes like a print, you print it in your printer, and you have like a little A4 sheet of paper with this art, and it's like sold in every little store. No one wants it anymore. It becomes not special. It becomes something that no one wants because everyone has it. And this is the case with people. We want something that we don't have. It's like diamonds. I can give you another example. Diamonds are probably abundant in this world. But what happened is diamonds are being kept by these places, and they only release so many diamonds, so they're not abundant. This is what keeps the price of these diamonds high. If diamonds were everywhere and every girl in this world had diamonds and had big diamonds that size, do you think they would still want those diamonds? No. They would lose their value. They would cost like a few cents, and no one would want them anymore. People only want them because they're precious and rare. The same with people. When you don't see someone for a long time, their time spent with you becomes more valuable. This example works with friends, family, relationships of any sort. Same with this video. This video is mainly built on a romantic relationship type, but this also works with friendships, it works with business, it works with every single example you can think of in terms of relationships. So, you gave enough to excite, but also not enough to bore. If you have too much of something, you take it for granted. You were being absent, which made her wonder what you were up to, creating intrigue and evoking emotions good and bad. What if you're cheating? What if you're seeing another girl? What if you're going to the gym and this other girl is interested in you and she's talking to you? Maybe. That's what she's wondering. That's why you have to do as many things as possible for your girl to keep wondering what you're doing. What is your next step? And never reveal your next move. Keep exciting. Keep mysterious. This is what excites your woman, and this is what makes her fall in love with you even more. Any emotion is good. No emotion is bad. You want to evoke as many emotions in your woman as possible. You want to make her laugh. You want to make her cry. You want to do any single thing that it will evoke any emotions in her. Because any emotion is better than no emotion. So a year or two have passed, and you're now thinking of moving in together to spend more time. Maybe you want to create a family. You're tired of missing each other and driving to each other's houses every time. You want to have a space together. You're just tired of, sharing a space with her parents or your parents. You're just tired of it. You want to live together. You want to share all the time that you have together with each other. You want convenience, and you don't want to see each other only every other weekend. You think this is a brilliant idea and you will have a great time living together. You're like, oh, I will live with her and this will be amazing. I will have the best time of my life. We will do so many things together. We'll just enjoy life so much more because we have so much more time. No, that's not the case. She will take you for granted. You will take her for granted. You will have more fights. If you don't watch this video to the end, you will make this mistake that I made. I've lived through this, and this is from examples of my life. I'm giving you the information that I learned. Not only through my life, but also through books and experience. So let's see what may arise. Adjusting to a new routine. Now that you live together, you have to adjust to a new routine because she has her own routine, you have your own routine. You have to somehow come up with a middle ground to see what suits you both. Increased expectations. You have expectations of her because you have spent all this time together on weekends and you expect her to always look her best. You expect her to always do these things that you always seen her do, but now she doesn't do them because she's there 24/7, and maybe that's a bit too much to ask, because obviously she can only do these things on weekends and that's why it made things special. But now you see each other 24/7 and you still expect the same. Increased expectations come from both parties. Loss of personal space. You are used to your own space, your own bedroom, you're used to your own bed. Now you have to share it, even though you shared it before every time on weekends or something. But now your space is invaded. You have to share a closet. You have to share like everything together. And this loss of space is like, you have to get used to it. Some financial problems. If you're sharing your house together and you're paying for everything half and half, or maybe you're not, you still will have some financial problems because obviously with a house together you will have to buy groceries, you'll have to do everything on your own, you have no parents to rely on. You will encounter some financial problems and potentially some fights will arise. Unrealistic expectations come with increased expectations, so you'll just have an unrealistic mindset of what living together might be like. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you watching this video have an unrealistic expectation of what living together actually is like. So this is nothing. All of these things that I talked about are nothing compared to what I'm about to show you. Those things are only little minorities. Little minor things that don't matter. Abundance and complacency is what you should worry about. Those two things will kill your relationship. So, she knows too much. She knows too much about you. She knows so much about you that she doesn't think of her imagination anymore. She doesn't imagine anything anymore. She doesn't need to use her imagination. So this is a good quote from Law 16 of 48 Laws of Power. A great book, by the way, that you should read. Her imagination no longer has room to roam. And this is a great quote. Her imagination no longer has room to roam because all of that room is filled and there's nothing left in that room to fill with. So it's a great quote. I love it. Your loved one becomes a person like anyone else, a person whose presence is taken for granted. There is no more mystery, no more withdrawal. So you don't withdraw yourself for 5 days anymore, or maybe more. You are present all the time and you are taken for granted because your time that you spend together is no longer precious. There is no more mystery. There is no more mystery. You reveal too much. You now live together, you lost your hobbies, you don't do anything by yourself anymore, and you're no longer mysterious. This will make her bored. Very bored. And the same on the opposite side. If she drops all the things that she was once doing, you will become bored of her. What follows? Complacency and abundance. You will become complacent and you stop doing all the good habits that once excited her about you. So you stop doing all the good habits that she was once in love with, that shaped you as a person in the start. She was excited about those things, and no longer. She's no longer excited about those things because they're not there. She follows suit and she becomes used to you and stops putting in effort. Now she thinks, well, I have a ring on my finger, now we're living together, he can't escape me that easily. And she stops putting in the effort. She stops painting her nails. She stops washing her hair, and she stops trying to look good for you. She stops going to the gym and she gets a little bit fat. Those things, they happen in every relationship that I can observe. And what happens? You're no longer attracted to her. She's no longer attracted to you because she gains a little bit of weight, and so do you. And now she's not attracted to you either. Your attraction to her fades, and so does her to you. The person she fell in love with is no longer the same. You now eat cookies and play video games. You now try and spend some time alone because you have too much of her. You now have too much time spent together, so you try and get some kind of easy habits. You lost all your good habits. You stopped going to the gym. You stopped doing all the things that once excited her, that made her like imagine this mystery about you. Like you had this aura around you that was like filled with mystery. But now you just try and find something easy, like playing video games. And she sees you playing those video games and she loses respect for you instantly. She no longer respects you like she did before, because she now sees a loser sitting at a computer chair playing childish video games. You binge watch Netflix while filling yourself with ice cream, and you both get less attractive. So you spend time together in the easiest way possible. You turn on Netflix and you're like, oh no, you pick a show. Oh no, you pick a show. Oh no, you pick a show. I picked a show last time, you pick a show. You stop going to these all new places. You stop going outside. You start only doing the things that are easy. You don't put any more effort for the other person. So you watch Netflix shows and you spend like 10 hours a day watching Netflix shows until like 1 a.m. in the morning. And you're like, oh sorry, I have to get up for work at 7. And you go to sleep. And you repeat the next day and the next day. Until all you do is watch Netflix together. And you become bored of each other. You no longer... Anyways, this is the next step. You now go on the hub to jerk off. She no longer excites you, and neither do you excite her. You go on the hub and you jerk off, and she now has bought a vibrator. She no longer needs you, bro. She's no longer excited. She's no longer excited about you. She buys a vibrator. And you go on the hub because you're not attracted to her anymore. She lost her good habits. You lost your good habits. You became complacent. Dark, right? Very dark. And this is a dark reality that most of us live. This is 95% of the population that moves in together. That's why so many relationships fail. That's why so many marriages fall apart. That's why so many kids are left alone without the father. Because the mother no longer is attracted to the father. So the mother goes off and cheats. Or the mother got fat and she is no longer attractive. She stopped putting in the effort. Even though she had children, she can still go to the gym. She can still put in the effort and lose the weight. But that didn't happen. So now the father goes off and cheats on her with a younger model. This is a dark story about 95% of the population. This is how the average person in this world lives, and you don't want to be average. Neither me or you want to be average. So keep watching. What once was a valuable rare art piece is now a common print that you can buy from your local store. Your partner now became a common print that you can buy from a local store. And you once had a valuable rare art piece. It was your favorite cake that you had once a month. Every single month, once a month on a Sunday, you had this chocolate cake that was once your favorite cake. So you decided to buy 50 of those cakes and eat it every single day. Every single day for 50 days, you said, I want to have this cake because now I have lots of money and I'll have this cake every single day for 50 days because this is my favorite cake. This is now your least favorite cake. You can't even look at it. It makes you sick. Every single time you take this cake out of the fridge, you nearly get sick because you're sick of this cake. You had this cake for 50 days straight. Now you're sick of it. You don't want this cake anymore. You say to yourself, I will never eat this cake anymore. Not even once. How do I prevent this? I don't want this to happen. How do we keep this love forever the same? How do you keep this love forever the same? That like the same love that you had, that you're seeing each other every single weekend or maybe every other day. How do you keep this love alive? Please tell me. This is the first step of how you keep this love alive. Starve them of your presence. Starve them of your presence. You are overly present, so you have to starve them of this present. What happens when you starve a person of food? They want food, right? What happens when a person hasn't had a drink of water for 2 days? They are thirsty and they want any means of water. Give them a cup of dirty water after not drinking for 2 days and they will drink this dirty cup of water. You haven't had this cake for 3 months now. You were once sick of it, but you kind of want to try it again to see if it's still your favorite, right? You had this cake every day for 50 days and you haven't had it now for 3 months. And you're kind of thinking of this cake like, wow, maybe, you know what? I was once sick of this cake. What? Like, let's see if it's still my favorite cake. I'm pretty sure you had this like same thing with food or maybe people. You haven't seen them for a long time and you're like, oh, you miss them again, you know? You remain mysterious. You keep up your good habits outside of your home. Even though you move in together, you keep up your good habits. You don't just stop doing all your good habits because now you have the person with you 24/7. That is just stupid. Why would you do that? This is like shooting yourself in the foot. Why would you stop doing all the good habits that once made her fall in love with you? I don't understand. Like, why would you do that? Like, oh. And this is the average person that we're talking about. Don't be average. So keep doing the good habits outside of your home. Don't always be in the house with her. Do things outside of your home so she doesn't see you every time. Remain mysterious. Be absent. Starve them of your presence. Don't involve her in everything that you do. Don't be like, oh, maybe you want to work with me. Maybe you want to like go and do this hobby with me. Yeah, sure, she can do it like once a week. But not every single day. You can't be with each other 24/7 and still keep everything alive. You still can't keep everything like blooming and evolving and your love to be the same if she spends 24/7 with you. There's no more excitement. This is logic. Use your brain. If you don't think this, you are delusional. Remain partially absent. I'm not telling you to just go away for 3 months and then come back and be like, oh, hi honey. I'm not telling you to do that. Remain doing your habits. Keep them in your life. Don't drop doing all of your good habits just because now you have this person in your life. This will keep her imagination ignited and she will remain excited to see you when you return home from doing whatever hobby you're doing. You go somewhere, you go to the gym, you go to the sauna, maybe you go to some other hobby, maybe you do like some rock climbing or like, you know, bouldering, you know, when you go to this like thing and you have a rope attached to you, maybe this is like your hobby, or maybe you go like out with friends or something. You cannot spend all the time together. You'll get sick of each other. You need to keep her imagination ignited. This will only make things better. She might want to spend 24/7 with you, but trust me, she doesn't. She may think of it. Some women are very deluded and they think that they want, like, all of you, or maybe they're shit testing you. Maybe they want to see how much of a nerd you are. And they're like, oh, let's see if he'll want to spend 24 hours together so then I can dump him and then cheat on him. Remain absent. Remain mysterious. She will never cheat on you. She will have no reason to. Don't give her all your time, only some of it. If she gets all of you, she will want none of you. Create a pattern of presence and absence that only you know. Create a pattern in your life where you're present and absent. Don't reveal all of your moves, because what's the fun of it? Here, listen. What's the fun of going into a restaurant and ordering your dish if you already know what it tastes like? If you have if you go to a restaurant today and you order you order this pizza and you eat it and you're like, wow, this is the best pizza I've ever had, and you're saying, I'll have this pizza again tomorrow. And you're going in with this deluded mindset thinking that this pizza will taste the same. Of course it won't. That first time was exciting. The second time will not be as exciting. This is the same principle. Don't overshare. You want to keep yourself as mysterious as possible. This is a quote from Law 16 of 48 Laws of Power. Once you die, everything about you will seem different. You will be surrounded by an instant aura of respect. People will remember their criticisms and arguments with you. They will be filled with guilt and regret. They are missing a presence that will never return. I'll read this once again. Once you die, everything about you will seem different. You'll be surrounded by an instant aura of respect. People will remember their criticisms and arguments with you, and they will be filled with guilt and regret. They are missing a presence that will never return. But you do not have to die for this to happen, because simply you would draw yourself for a mere while. This will ignite imagination and excitement once more. A dog is only excited when you return after a day of absence, right? When you don't see your dog for a day and you come back home, your dog is wagging its tail and jumping on you and all excited. Come back every hour. Once every hour, come back. Leave and come back into your house every hour. Excitement won't be the same. This is the same thing in a relationship. Any single relationship, business, doesn't matter. Friendship, doesn't matter. Any relationship this can be applied to. Don't give too much. Giving too much of you equals greediness. What happens when you give all of yourself to someone? They're not going to appreciate it. When you give too much of something, when you give too much of yourself, they will only be greedy and want more. But actually, this is a psychological error, because when you give too much of you, they will want more, right? They will expect more of you, but also they will be repulsed by you. Why? Because you're giving all of them to, you're giving all of yourself to them. So they just think, wow, what a loser. They want to chase, especially a man. When a woman gives too much to a man, the man runs. A man is a primal hunter. We want to chase our prey. The same with women. We want to chase the women. We want to chase our prey. If the prey comes to us, is that going to be exciting for us? Is that going to be hard work? Men with high testosterone, we don't want our prey to come to us. What is the fun? Imagine going out hunting and the deer just coming up to you and saying, oh, shoot me. You'll just feel bad for it. You'll want to pet the deer and you'll be like, oh no, I'm not going to shoot you, you're too friendly. When the deer is far away and it's running wild and it's changing its patterns and you try and shoot it. This is the chase. We are excited by the chase. If our prey comes to us, if the woman comes to us, yeah, it could be exciting one time. If that happens another time, we're not going to be excited by it. We're going to be repulsed by it. This is the same. Give too much and the other person will become greedy. If you give a lot to the other person, it will make them take you for granted. Abundance equals trouble. Too much of something always means problems. Too much of money, it brings problems. Too much of a presence from a person, problems. Everything that comes in abundance brings you problems. The same thing with presence. People always want what they can't have, right? This is the same thing that I said about art before. People always want what they can't have. The same with relationship. So be something that they can't have or rarely can get. It's all about balance. Create a balance. Please, create a balance. You want to be something that they can't always have. It's like a magnet. You push and they pull. You pull and they push. This is the psychological, this is the psychology of a normal relationship, of how it works. Yes, in some cases it can become toxic. And this is also based on childhood trauma, which I'm not going to go into detail right now. But most times, more often than not, if you push, they pull. If you pull, they push. That's just how it works. You give too much, they don't want any. You give too little, they want more. It's just psychology. It's simple, elementary psychology. Keep excitement. Keep doing new things with your other half. This is a very important piece of information. Keep doing new things with your other half. New things. That's why I have new in capital letters. Keep doing new things with your other half. Don't keep doing the same thing. This will bore them. This will make them sick of you and the thing that they're doing. New places, new restaurants, new cafes. Keep doing new things. Every single week, say, you know what? Be ready by 6. I'm taking you out to a new place. Make sure you're looking good. I'm taking you out to a new restaurant. Make sure you're doing nothing next Saturday. We're going somewhere. Oh, where are we going? It's a surprise. I'm not telling you. Oh, but I need to know if I need to dress fancy or not. Dress fancy. Put on your best shoes. Put on your best dress. Make sure you look good. This will keep excitement. This will keep the other person putting in the effort. And so the same works for you. You'll keep putting in the effort as well. This will keep the excitement alive. This will keep the flames in love ignited. Keep the element of surprise and unexpectancy. This will be exciting and make them wonder when the next surprise is coming. So you say, oh, be ready next Saturday for 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. They'll wonder, oh, this was brilliant. We went to this new place, we had this new dishes, and it was amazing. It was such a nice atmosphere. We chatted about some different things. I wonder when is the next time that this is going to happen. The excitement will be there. Her imagination will be again running wild. This is very important. If you don't do this, she will become bored and she will go off and cheat on you. She will look for another person of excitement. Why do you think women go out and cheat? Why do you think men go out and cheat? It's because their partner is no longer exciting for them. So they want that excitement. They want that chase. They want something new. If you don't provide something new for them, they will go and look for something new. Sometimes I see this in relationships and I'm just like, how are you that deluded? Play a little hard to get in a playful manner. Even on an off topic, play fight. Keep teasing each other. Keep the playfulness alive. Doesn't matter if you're 70 years old. Doesn't matter if you're 90 years old. Keep playfulness. Keep slagging someone. Keep this playfulness going. If there's no playfulness, if there's no play, there's no happiness. Don't give yourself too easily. It will bore. The same thing with the prey coming to you. Obviously, once in a while it will be nice for your second half or your girl to just, put on something and just lie there and, take me. Exciting, cool, something new. But if she does this every single day, you're just going to say, Bored of that. I want to chase. And that's a regular man. This is a man with high testosterone. You want to chase. Don't keep going to the same place all the time. It will become less special, and you will not only ruin the place, but the excitement aspect. Don't go to the same place all the time. Yeah, it's your favorite place. Yeah, it's your favorite cafe. Okay, it's your favorite restaurant. Don't go to the same restaurant. It's the same food example that I gave you at the start. If you order the dish 2 times in the day, like 2 times in the same, like you order the same dish that you ordered today, tomorrow, like you go into the restaurant, you already know how it tastes like, so it's not going to excite you. If you eat the same thing every single day, you'll get bored of it. It's the same thing. You want new and exciting things. That's what life is about. Life is about trying new and exciting things. Moving in can either make or break a relationship. Same with marriage. If there's troubles now, follow the steps and problems will resolve. Excitement will return. So be ready. If you are in a relationship and you have some problems, if you're moved in together and there's no excitement, simply do one thing. One thing. I'm not even joking. One thing. If the excitement is gone, do one thing. And this will ignite things again. Do simply as I say. Honey, be ready next Saturday at 7 p.m. Oh, why? What's happening? Like, what did you book? It doesn't matter. Just be ready next Saturday for 7 p.m. We're going somewhere nice. Make sure you look presentable. Put on your best dress. Put on your best shoes. Oh, but where are we going? I need to know. No, it's a surprise. This will keep things exciting. For the next week, she'll be wondering, where are you going? What is this new place? All the things will be running through her mind. A woman's brain works a lot more complex than our brain does. They have so many more emotions. If we have like this many emotions, they have this many emotions. You don't even realize how many emotions this will evoke in your girl if you say these things. A simple sentence. Conclusion. Stay the person that they fell in love with. Don't drop all the good habits that you once had, because they were in love with them. Not only that they were in love with you, they were also in love with the good habits that you did. Never give up hobbies to spend more time together. Stay mysterious. Don't reveal too much of yourself. If you reveal all of you, she'll want to know nothing. She won't need to know nothing. She won't be excited. There won't be no imagination. Stay mysterious. Don't reveal too much of yourself. That's why you should never give up your hobbies. This is what builds you. Stay partially absent and plan things for yourself only, and don't reveal yourself too much. So stay partially absent. Create that pattern of absence and presence that only you know. Don't give too much. Don't give too much of yourself, especially if you're not receiving it. Don't give too much of yourself. This will only repulse the other person. This will make them want none of you. Give too much, it will ignite greed, and then they won't want any of you. It will kill the excitement, and they will chase someone else that they cannot get. This is what happens with men. You give too much of yourself to men, they want something that they cannot get, and they go and get it. It's more exciting. I know it's toxic, but this is how psychology works. Keep trying new things and introduce elements of surprise. This is the last step that I just told you about. Honey, we're going to a new restaurant at 7 p.m. next Saturday. Make sure you're ready. Ignite excitement and imagination. This is very important. If you don't do this, you will break your relationship and no love will prevail. There'll be no love. You'll be just like friends. And you don't want to be friends with your partner. You want a romantic relationship. Even if you have 10 children, you can still keep this romantic relationship. You can still keep aspects of excitement in your relationship. Obviously, it will never be the same as your honeymoon stage of the first 1 year of dating, but you can keep it very, very close to that. You will never make it the same, but you will keep close to it. This is the end. So if you enjoyed this video, if you think I brought you some value, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below on what you learned. I hope you made notes, because this is very important information. I made this mistake for 8 years of my life. 8 years of my life. I made these mistakes. I now learned about these mistakes that I made, and I'm never making them again. So I hope that you can learn from my mistakes, because a clever man learns from the mistakes of others. So be a clever man, or woman if you're watching this video. I hope it helps you just as much, because this works in any gender, because there's only two. Different topic. So subscribe, like, comment, share, press the notification bell, and that's it. Peace.